Well, it's not another day without some Lakers news. And also, happy 4th of July, everybody. If you hear fireworks in the background, you know why. Let's get into it on this one. Bronny James was in the news today. The Cavaliers are reportedly keeping a roster spot open. They're not doing anything to fill in that roster spot in case LeBron signs with them or when they're ready for him to sign with the Cavs so that they can trade for Bronny. You know, to be honest, this is not really that shocking. We kind of know that Bronny does not fit with the Lakers anymore. He kind of did before we traded for Jaden Hardy and the DeAndre Ayton trade, but it makes no sense anymore. Bronny needs a fresh start. He needs to be with the Cavs. It's not like he's going to play with the Cavs. His best option is probably with the Lakers. He has a better chance of being a rotation player because the Cavs have a lot of young guards. But what would this mean for the Lakers? What can we get out of this? To be honest, I don't know. Maybe like a second-round pick in in the 2033 NBA draft. It won't be much at all, but it would open up a roster spot and would free about $1 million in cap space, which is not a lot. We still have $2.1 million in the cap space. That would go up to $3.4 million, I believe. So it's not like it's a big trade. Bronny would just be going back to Cleveland, where he was born, and just join his dad again in LeBron. What happens if LeBron does not go to the Cavs? Well, we don't know. Nothing happened. Nothing was reported about that with Bronny. I bet if at least LeBron goes to the Cavs, I think Bronny will be moved, but I don't know if he will go anywhere else. I don't know if anybody else is going to try to trade for him. We'll see though. That we actually don't know that. What would be losing in Bronny James? We'd be losing some good defense. We had Marcus Smart develop him, be a leader on him. To be honest, I'm guessing Bronny James learned the most from Marcus Smart because they're both smaller guards. They both have good defensive mechanics. I bet Bronny learned a lot from him. I bet his defense has definitely improved. He does not play. He's not playing in Summer League, which is expected. You don't really play Summer League after 2 years in the NBA. But we'd miss a little bit of defense. He would probably be our best perimeter defensive option. Now that is saying a lot because he doesn't play. But we see him in the G League. He plays pretty good in G League, about 20 points a game, which is pretty good. And we miss some. The IQ is okay. We probably wouldn't miss that though. He actually is sneaky athletic. He can dunk the ball pretty easily. You know, he has the genes from LeBron, obviously. And he passes the ball pretty well. Again, this is saying a lot. He doesn't play much. He plays when everybody's hurt, or JJ Redick's like, why not? Let's put him in, or it's a blowout at the end of the game. That's really how this goes. But I think the biggest part of Bronny is the defense. I think we would be missing that. But he kind of developed a three-point shot last season when he was playing. He made a couple threes, and the first year was a struggle. He didn't make his first three until, I believe, February against the Clippers. It took him a lot shorter of a time this year. But Bronny, I like it. I like that Bronny is a Laker. I loved when we drafted him. I love that the father-son duo in Bronny and LeBron happened. So I think I would be just fine with Bronny going to the Cavs. We would then have 12 players on the roster, so we would at least need one more player signed, which is the expectation anyways. You don't trade DeAndre Ayton and not get a center and a wing. And reports are also saying that, what I'm hearing, that DeAndre Ayton trade was not just to, look at a new center for the backup. It was to help get a wing. Obviously, when you lose a backup center, you're going to have to get a new backup center. So, Kevon Looney is the player who was being mentioned the most. Andre Drummond signed with the Knicks last night, which was a little tough. I would have loved Andre Drummond with this team. But it's looking like Kevon Looney and Jonathon Kuminga, who we'll talk about in a second. We have a nice little update on him. It's looking like Kevon Looney is going to sign with the Lakers. We don't know yet. He's also rumored to the Knicks. It's reported that the Knicks are not done adding centers. They need center depth, especially since they lost Mitchell Robinson and Ariel Hukporti in free agency this offseason. So they only have Karl-Anthony Towns and Andre Drummond now. They are going to need another center likely. If they could get Kevon Looney, the Knicks have a very good center rotation. So my final thoughts, to be honest, we wouldn't be losing much. We'd be losing good G League talent, a good G League player who can come in, get called up, maybe for a couple games. He was not bad last year. He didn't have a lot of bad moments. He kind of was a spark plug. He kind of got the crowd going and everything. But again, he never really played. And if Bronny is traded, it was an amazing 2 years. We also had more Jonathon Kuminga updates today from Mark Stein and Jake Fisher. It's looking more and more likely that Rui Hachimura is not an option for the Lakers anymore. It didn't make any sense. It really did not. We didn't have enough money, and there's also rumors we could possibly get Kuminga and Rui, both. How is that going to happen? You're going to have to trade so many players or waive so many players, and then your depth is just gone. But he also said the Lakers are focusing on Jonathon Kuminga. And it was reported earlier today that the Lakers have strong consideration on Jonathon Kuminga, which has been reported for so many days. But it was also reported that Kuminga is also giving that strong consideration back. So it's looking like Kuminga wants to be a Laker. Issue is that a bunch of teams are also interested. So this can be something that goes on for a while. The Lakers do not have enough cap space. We talked about that earlier. So it's not even possible right now. It's not even legal. So we're going to have to make some moves. I doubt anything happens this weekend. And talking about our center, before we go back to Kuminga, like I said, Kevon Looney is the likely option. Jonas Valanciunas, if he does get waived, I could see him being an option. He was not waived. He has not been waived yet. He was one of the options mentioned by Shams, and I thought he was a free agent. He's not a free agent. He is still on the Nuggets, and he's still making about $8 million a year. So if he's waived, the Lakers definitely are going to look at that. But Nick Richards, Kevon Looney, those are the two players to watch out for the center. Jonathon Kuminga, we've talked about him so much. To be honest, I would expect him to be a Laker. I don't see any other teams really heavily pursuing him. There's teams interested, but a lot of teams are interested in so many players and they don't get him. I think Kuminga wants to be a Laker. I think he wants to be back in California. He was with the Warriors for most of his career, only spent half a season in Atlanta. So I would count on Kuminga signing with the Lakers unless something happens, which definitely is possible. We don't know what happens in free agency. A team can just give him a bag, maybe even 15. Like Kuminga would be making about $7 to $10 million with the Lakers. Someone could just offer him $15 million a year for a lot of years, and he'd probably sign that contract to get that money that he's wanted his whole career. My final thoughts on these two updates: Bronny, I'd be fine if we traded him. Opens up a roster spot, has to force us to make a move. I love that. Kuminga, again, I've already said this, but I'd rather have Kuminga than Rui. I like change. I also like that we're going the younger route. Austin Reeves is our oldest player. He's only 28. I'd love to get a 23-year-old Jonathon Kuminga for a couple years. Hopefully it's not a one-year contract. I really hope it's a long-term contract for about $10 million a year. I doubt that, though, if that's all you're paying him. Give me your thoughts on the Bronny trade rumors and Jonathon Kuminga possibly going to the Lakers. All right, everybody, happy 4th of July when you're watching this. It probably won't be 4th of July, but happy 4th of July to everyone, and I hope you enjoy this one. Goodbye, and go Lakers.